welcome back to my channel. I missed you guys so much. When I start these videos, I want to kind of come in like smooth and like subtle and seem more cooler, but honestly it's been a long time since like I actually sat down and filmed a video, so I'm just like excited to do one. Also, I hope you guys don't mind the like mic is right here, but I just wanted to be able to have like a better sound quality right now. Today we are going to just jump right into it. We're actually gonna be filming the mid-year freakout tag of 2025. I cannot believe it's already July. Honestly, I'm embracing summer. I'm more of like an autumn, fall, winter girly, but this summer I'm embracing more of the atmosphere. I want to get more like summer books in, and I just want to embrace it as much as I can, because honestly moving to like a different state where there's actually snow and I get to have the 4 seasons, I want to enjoy this weather as much as I can. So I'm just like trying to remember like the tan line, the little coastal accents, like cute linen shirts and bright colors, sandals, doing your toenails, having your hair up in like cute short waves. I don't know, I'm just excited. I'm trying to enjoy it as much as I can. It's really brutal. It's pretty humid like where I am right now. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sunny, and we are going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. This is a video that kind of circulates around booktube, and a lot of my favorite booktubers are actually posting freakout book tags, and I honestly wasn't going to post mine just because I feel like I haven't really been reading as much as I have wanted to this year. I kind of got FOMO, like seeing everybody's videos posted. I'm just like, okay, you know what, I want to film one too, because I feel left out. I feel like if I don't, it's gonna bother me. And yeah, so this is a tag that circulates around on booktube, and you are given a set of questions, and it's just kind of like a way to expose and talk about the books that you have gotten to so far this year. I'm gonna go off by saying that I've never been a big quantity reader, so I don't really read like a crazy amount of books each year, but I have been wanting to pick up more of the quality types of reads. I want to be absorbed into stories. I want to find like my new favorite books, but this year I've just been busy along with all the other years, especially now that I have like a new role I'm trying to take for work. I'm just like really busy with that, but I do read mainly just like wind down at night. My reading goal for this year is to hit about 50 books, and so far I'm about at 22 books per Goodreads. It says that I'm like, if I read 3 more books I can kind of catch up to the same pace, but I'm not in a rush. If I don't meet it, it's just like a goal I set just for funsies, so if I don't meet it, it's fine, and if I do meet it, that's cool. If you guys don't mind, I have a little notebook right here that has all the answers to these questions. I'm not going to really dive deep into a synopsis. I'm just going to talk about the prompts, the questions, and why I chose those as my answers. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm really happy to be back and to be filming this. I honestly just like missed this so much. But let's just jump into the first question. Question number 1 says, best book so far. The best book I have read of 2025 is something I just read recently, and it's Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I am absolutely in love with the story. I fell in love with the characters and with the nostalgia of the story. I knew I was gonna like this book, but I didn't think I was gonna like it that much. But I just love her writing style. I love how it's like really simplistic and relatable. It's super nostalgic, and just one huge warning is that there's a lot of trigger warnings in this story. I kind of wasn't expecting that for some reason. I just didn't know about that, but I also kind of like how it matches my shirt. But yeah, one of my favorite books ever. I rated 5 stars. If you have grown up playing like certain games like Harvest Moon, Diablo, the old Animal Crossing, you're gonna like kind of, I squealed a little bit when I saw like those references in there, and you're kind of following 2 gaming developers, Sam and Sadie, and just it's a coming of age story, you know, based on like their ups and their downs, their hardships and their growths and milestones and their friendship. And I guess like a good representation would be like platonic love, and it's just, it's not your typical story, and that's what I really liked about it. You know, like you get to see these characters and find them so relatable, and this story is just not like your typical story. You're gonna just see like, it's like such a good way I can think of it is just like a good word would just be platonic, but it's just, I think the representation of it is just like so beautiful, and just like her writing style, I just feel like it was really like, I don't know if raw is the right word, but it just seemed more realistic and more relatable to me. And there was like parts in the story that spoke to me a lot. I'm not really the type to like annotate or anything, but this story I actually highlighted a lot of parts in it, because there was like parts that actually like I could relate to. They're not highlighted by any color coding, but there were just parts that I either related to or I found like touching. There was parts of it that honestly kind of tore my heart open, but I just feel like this book just had so much emotion, and just it was depicted so well. It's just such a good book, not what I expected. And also with me like growing up with games, I'm not like a giant gamer by any means, but just being able to like reference those games and find them in the story was really, really cool. And yeah, I don't know, it's just such a cool like story. And then you kind of get to watch these like 2 gaming developers go through their business together together everything else that grows alongside it. So it's just a really cool journey from like start to finish, and there's like moments of it where it's like full circle moments, so I really enjoyed those. I love stuff like that in books, so definitely my favorite book of this year so far. Question number 2 says best sequel. Now I don't read a lot of series, so I can't really say that like I've read a lot of sequels, and I don't know if this is like the best sequel I've read this year. It's just a sequel I've read this year. I've read 2 sequels. I've read What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher, which I believe is, yeah, I believe that's the second story to her series. I forgot what the first book is called, but I'll put it up right here. That is the second one. I wouldn't say it's like my most favorite. Sorry, there's like a little hair floating. I wouldn't say it's like my most favorite, but I really did enjoy it. And then also the other sequel I did finish at the very beginning of the year was A Court of Silver Flames. This book was a chunky book. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would have, considering that I don't like one of the characters that's in the story. I just did not. But I feel like this is a lot of people who says that. Like a lot of people say that they don't like Nesta, but I still enjoyed it nonetheless. Like I honestly really enjoyed the storyline itself. I think it was a good wrap up. I'm pretty good on this being the last book. Like I'm totally fine if they stop it at this, but even then I don't think they had to make this one. But I did enjoy this one a lot more better than I thought I would have. This was the other sequel I read this year along with the T. Kingfisher book. I wouldn't say they're the best ones, but they were good sequels. They did the job, and I'm glad that I read somewhat of a sequel, because normally this question is like the one I can't answer. Those are my sequels I've read this year. Okay, question number 3 is books that you want to read this year, or new releases that you want to read this year that you have not. So one of them I do have. It's actually The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith. This is something that I saw like it was recently, I have seen that it was recently released this year. Originally I saw it kind of circulating around booktube, but they kind of just stopped. I looked at the reviews on Goodreads. It's not really the greatest, but again, I don't really put a lot of thought into ratings on Goodreads because, well, I might like in books other people might not like, so you know, like I don't really want to judge a book by that. But this is a book that the whole concept of it sounds intriguing to me. I just think that the title sounds really intriguing. Again, I don't want to jump into the synopsis, but it just says high society girls are expected to bargain for qualities that will win them their suitors. But it's pretty much, I assume it's like a competition type game, like ballroom setting, I'm hoping. I don't know, I just think the concept of it sounds really interesting. It's something I've heard a few people talk about. I haven't heard the most amazing things, but I'm still interested in wanting to pick it up. And the other one is Count My Lies by Sophie Stava. Again, I can't really jump into the synopsis of this one, but this is, I believe it's supposed to be a thriller on the main protagonist. She just profusely lies, and it gets to the point where it catches up to her, and then you kind of follow and see why she profusely lies. Like you kind of uncover the reason why she lies so much. And it sounds interesting. It sounds like a interesting concept, so I want to see what that thriller has to hold. I'm also just like, I've been getting into thrillers. I just feel like some of them are just really intriguing and they kind of get me out of reading slumps, and they're just interesting to read. Even if they're not the greatest, they still provide like that fast reading response, and I still want to pick it up. It's something I'm really interested in. Question number 4 are new releases that you look forward to at the end of this year. Just please don't judge me, correct me if I'm wrong, but I had just seen this one, and it's called Catabasis by R.F. Kuang, and I believe it's just 2 students who venture into hell to save their professor who just was wrongfully put there, I believe. And the whole concept of it sounds really interesting. I think the cover is really cool, and I have never read R.F. Kuang's books. I definitely want to, but I've heard just like amazing things, and I've heard the writing style is immaculate, so I'm really curious. And this whole like concept and the depiction of like what the underworld in a storyline setting, like in a novel, I'm just like curious how it's going to be written out. And so yeah, I'm really curious to see what I think about it, and I'm actually really intrigued to know what's gonna happen. Also, the other book that I am excited that's going to be released is third book. I think it's called What Stalks the Deep by T. Kingfisher. It's the third book in the What Moves the Dead, I think comes after What Moves the Dead, and I'm really interested in it because I wouldn't say that these are like my most favorite books, but the fact that it's like a thriller based off like deadly fungus, I just think it's so cool. And me being like a biology nerd, I just find it to be so fascinating and so interesting, and it actually always keeps me hooked. Like the last 2 books, like they're not 5 stars by any means, they have just kept me really hooked. Like every time I read them, I'm just like fascinated by it, and I'm intrigued and interested, and I actually like that it's something I'm really interested in without having to be a 5-star book. Like it's just still something that I enjoy picking up and I enjoy reading about. So I'm curious to see what the third book's gonna be, because I'm like, what else are they gonna write? Are they gonna write the same thing just with different people, or like is it gonna get a lot more animated? Like I'm just really curious. and I'm actually starting to like T. Kingfisher's writing more. I think the more books I'm reading by T. Kingfisher, I'm like really interested in picking up the rest, so I am looking forward to those two. Question number 5 is the biggest disappointment of this year, and the biggest disappointment is definitely A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. I'm pretty bummed because I enjoyed that whole concept and like her synopsis of that story. This story, I'm just like, I don't know. I just remember finding the romance to not be a romance. Like, it was just like, why are you with him? And I was just questioning what the story was even about, because we started following dialogue or like a storyline of other people that just I was not interested in. I just didn't care about the people. I thought the whole concept and the whole like the fact that she was the main protagonist was kind of stuck in a story that she loved. I thought it was gonna be really good and like really cool, but it just ended up being kind of boring to me. Like, it just wasn't, I wasn't interested in knowing about the side characters. The main character, when it did have her like her little storyline, I was not interested in it because there's a part that I'm just like, what? Like, why? Like, I'm just like, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it wasn't for me. Even the romance wasn't intriguing to me. I'm just like, there's a lot of parts that I didn't agree with, and there was like, I was reading the comments on Goodreads to see what other people thought, and that's how I know I really don't like a book, because I want to see what the other 1-star reads are, and I just wasn't, I wasn't a fan of this one. Like, I'm kind of bummed because I was kind of looking forward to it, and I thought the concept of it sounded really interesting, and it kind of popped up on BookTube at one point, so you thought like, okay, like maybe it's gonna be, definitely not. I was kind of disappointed actually. That was that one, especially because I liked her other book, her other story, so I really thought I was gonna like this one, but I definitely did not like this one. I was just like this was one of those stories that I'm just like, I couldn't stop talking about it. Like, I couldn't stop thinking about it because I was angry. Like, I was disappointed. Question number 6 says, the biggest surprise. Okay, the biggest surprise this year, I actually didn't pull it out, but it was Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cicerelli. I read this for one of my readathon prompts for the Magical Readathon, and I honestly wasn't really in the mood to read it. It just fulfilled one of my prompts, and I don't know, I just felt like it was one of those books that you kind of see like hyped up BookTube and Book Talk. I just felt like I have a thing for like hyped up books. Sometimes I feel like I'm so what's the word, like I can't find it. Can't find the word. I'm wary around those type of books because sometimes I feel like they're hyped up, but then I pick them up and I'm just like, why am I not in this story like everybody else? Like, I just get so disappointed, and I thought this was gonna be one of them, but surprisingly, I wouldn't say this book was like my most favorite book. It was really good. Like, the whole like love interest was really interesting. They had a lot more depth to them. Like, they actually like had more character to them, and then also with the whole like setting of the story, like the whole magic system of it, it was really intriguing. Like, it was really cool. I think it's setting up, I actually think there's a second book to this, but yeah, I did find a lot of like interest in it, and also like with the whole plot twist. I knew it was like an obvious plot twist, but it made the story like a lot more elaborate. There was a part of it that I'm just like I think the whole concept of how they get their blood was like really weird to me, because I'm just like, I've talked about it in my reading blog, but they supposedly get their blood from, I think it's supposed to be like their monthly shed, so like I don't know if it's like their menstrual cycles, and that's where they get their blood, like their power system. So I was just like, I don't know how I felt about that. Like, that was just like, I don't know, I just felt like I was like, is that unsanitary? Like, to know that you're using your magic from your monthly sheds. I don't know, I don't even want to say monthly sheds. Like, I thought it was a little weird, but other than that, I really enjoyed the story a lot more, and it actually kind of made me want to like get back into reading a little bit. I wouldn't say it was amazing by any means to me, but it was still like a really interesting book, and I was actually surprised that I was interested in this book. I thought it was going to be another book that was just going to sit on my shelf, and then I was going to finally pick it up and think like, okay, yeah, this is kind of like a whatever story, I'm going to forget about it. But no, it was actually really interesting. There was like a lot more depth to it, and a lot of characteristics, which I really enjoyed. I like that a lot. Something that surprised me a lot. Okay, and 7, it is your new favorite author. I wouldn't say I have like a new favorite author really. Also, I'm sorry if the mic's like covering up my face now, but like I was sitting on my legs and now it's like starting to hurt. But I think after reading Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, Gabrielle Zevin ended up being an author. I kind of started, like, I never read the author's notes or anything. Hers, I was really interested in reading it, and I started like looking into her other books that she had created, and I'm also really interested in reading more of T. Kingfisher's book after reading like the What Moved the Dead series. I keep calling it that because that's the only book I can remember. Those are the two authors I feel like I'm picking up more, and I'm more intrigued by lately. Like, if I see another book by them, I'm curious to pick it up. So I wouldn't say they're like my new favorite authors, but they are new authors that I would probably add to my list of books that I want to pick up and see they are for me, and see they are something that I want to read and fulfill, because I like their other books and I really enjoy their other books. So yeah, those are probably my 2 authors of this year so far. Question number 8. I don't know, this question was always like something I never liked answering, to be honest. Like, I just never it never fell into my category. So I changed it. I changed it to a new pet or companion. I feel like that would have been a cute like concept to do as like one of our questions. So my companion I would choose would be Monty from King of Wrath, I think. Is it King of Wrath or King of Pride? It was Isabella's little pet snake ball python. I believe he's a little white ball python, which would be considered like a leucistic. I just think I might be biased because I am a snake mother, but I just love white ball pythons. Like they're called leucistics, like blue-eyed leucistics usually, and I just think they're so pretty and so cute. And yeah, they're like my dream snakes. I just think they're so cute. I love my snakes though. I love Kiwi and Phoebe, and if you don't know this about me, I have two snakes. I have one little hognose snake, little albino one. Her name is Kiwi, and then I have a little, I don't really know what her, I'm not like a whole genetic coloration person, but she's supposed to be considered like a pastel. I forgot. I totally forgot. Her name's Phoebe, and she's a little ball python. But if I had to choose a little companion for one of the stories, I would definitely choose Monty the ball python. Is Isabella's little companion, her little pet from, I think it's from Anna Huang's stories, like the whole King of Wrath, King of Pride. It's her pet, and I just think it's so cute because there's not a lot of like snake pets in stories, and I just think it was cute that was represented in the story because that just made me really happy because I have pet snakes. So, and when they like depicted, they barely spoke about Monty, but when they did, he just sounded like the most perfect little boy, like just a good boy, a good snake. So I would definitely choose Monty as my little pet companion. Question number 9 is favorite character. Okay, so this one was kind of weird. Know if this was her name, but I chose, I think her name is Lady Trent. In the story, I totally forgot her name. Oh, I think her name is Isabella too. But I think in the story, she calls herself Lady Trent. But I think she is such a badass, and she was just such a cool character. She was just really classy and like really intelligent and really composed, and just seemed like someone who had their crap together. I just really liked her as a character. I feel like she would definitely be someone that I would find as an amazing best friend or big sister. Like I really enjoyed her character a lot. She just seemed like I'm obsessed with biology. I've always been obsessed with it, and so to like see another woman who like loves biology, it was so cool to see that in a book, like not just like in STEM but like animal biology, like animal studies. I just find that so cool and so fascinating. So I really liked her character a lot, and I definitely would choose her as like a best friend or big sister in my book. Question number 10 is a book that made you cry. This one was actually a random book that I did not start it this year. I kind of started like 2 years ago, and it was just on my Kindle because it was like one of those Prime books that I just had on my Kindle. I had it there just in case if I ever wanted to pick up a book and I didn't have a book currently in my Kindle. And it was called The Night of Many Endings, but I did finish it this year, and the author is Melissa Payne. This book actually, I wouldn't say like I sobbed. I didn't sob over it, but there was a part at the end that happened with one of the characters and their development, and them just like reaching and meeting this giant milestone, and this giant goal, and it was just so heartfelt, and I just felt so happy for this character. Like I just felt so happy to see that the character was able to do something that just seemed impossible at one point, and it kind of brought tears to my eyes. Like there was just a point where I just felt so empathetic and so like touched and moved by this character, and it was just like a little scene, but I was just like rooting for it because I was just like, I know this has to happen. This character has to have something good for them. And when it did happen at the end, it definitely kind of pulled some tears out of my eyes because it was just so cute and it was just so sweet. It was like one of those like humane, down to earth moments where you're just like, oh, like I'm happy that this character has a good ending. And it was definitely like one of those little moments where there's like tears, not sobbing, but it did probably provoke some tears. But yeah, so far I didn't like cry over any books, but that was definitely one of them that I remember having tears over. Question number 11, a book that made you happy. This one was kind of hard because I don't really feel like I had a lot of great books this year, to be honest. The only great book was Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, but I wouldn't say it's like a happy book. But 2 happy books I did read this year that were like, oh, these were kind of provided some sense of joy was Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. It's just like a happy rom-com book about like these 2 teachers. They're like rivals. I don't like saying like enemies to lovers, but they're just like, you know, like they butt heads a lot. She butts heads with him. I think he's like, what's the problem? But she's the one that's just like, you're my enemy type thing. But that book was like a pretty like cute, wholesome, just like little good love story. Like it was nothing crazy, but you're just like watching like just a little rom-com that was just like, okay, that was a good film. That was like interesting. It wasn't bad. And it was cute. There was like little scenes in it that you're like, okay, that was cute. You know, like there's a lot of little scenes in there that just actually were like pretty happy and pretty interesting and funny. And then the other one would be Trust of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I just love that it's like a fantasy-based book, but like a classic fantasy-based book. Like that's how that's the vibe it gave me. Like it was just like a pirate story, but almost like something that you'd read when you're younger, but that's just like so much more elaborate. Like the sea isn't like actual water. It's made of, I totally forgot what it is made of, but it's made of spores. It's made of spores. And like the whole concept of it was really interesting. You know, there's like animals that talk, and there's like so many different characters that like have a different array of backgrounds. I believe they're like different types of creatures. I'm not for sure, but that's how I picture them. And I just felt like the story was like a nice little classic pirate story. It was just like a cute story. It was, I wouldn't say it's cute either, but it was just like a nice story to read, like before bed. It felt like reading like a little fairy tale classic book, you know, like one that you read growing up, but just a lot more elaborate. I would say those two probably made me pretty happy. They felt like they provided like that sense of enjoyment. Question 12, a book adaptation to a movie. I don't have one. I never feel like I have an answer for this one, but I have not read any books that have become movies. But in terms of books that I have read, not this year, but that are going to be adapted, that I'm excited for, and like I'm not a big TV watcher, unless if it's like maybe like I like watching K-dramas or YouTube, to be honest, but other than that, I'm not really like a big TV watcher. And The Greatest Showman, I feel like I can watch The Greatest Showman all the time. I am really excited for the Project Hail Mary movie to come out. I'm just so excited. Like I love that book and it was so good, and I'm so excited to see the movie become adapted, like the book become adapted to a movie. I'm also really scared, and like because I'm like I don't want to be disappointed. I'm super excited. I've been looking forward to it, but I'm really excited. That's definitely not a book I read this year, but it's a book I read last year, and it's a movie that I'm just excited to come out. I believe it's come out this year, so I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm hoping I like it. And question 13, a beautiful book. So this one, I actually have not really been book shopping this year. I think I'm actually trying to make it a goal to read a majority of my physical books on my shelf before I purchase some new ones. I've also have not really been picking up as much books because again, I haven't been reading as much. I don't know. I feel like I haven't been reading a lot this year. I just think it wasn't a massive reading slump, like a giant reading slump. So it's been really hard to just get that like reading ball going. So I haven't really been like book buying, and although you can book buy without reading the books. But yeah, I haven't really been book buying, but I do have a book that's interesting that I did buy with my cousin. It's a really interesting, so I wouldn't say it's like beautiful, but I think it's beautiful in its own way. It's an interesting book, and it's To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. I liked it because it's literally like a little journal, and it just, I don't know, it's so cute. Like it literally feels like a tiny little journal. Like it doesn't feel like a book. When I first saw it, I thought it was a journal, but it is. It's a little book. It's an actual book, a journal like type of. So I thought that was really cool. So I chose this one because this was one I did pick up this year, and I just think the concept of it was really cute. It's like super small and like packed. I don't know, I just think it's adorable. And then I would probably say it's like not really like special edition or anything, but I think the Trust of the Emerald Sea cover is just pretty to me. Like I just love it. I just think it's like, I love the colors. I love like these colors. I don't know if you can tell, like chartreuse green, like light green, this like little gold foiling. I don't know. I want that one special edition of this book. If I find a picture of it, I post it up right here, but I really want that one. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's actually something I do want to have on my shelf. I think this is actually a book I do want to reread again as well, because I feel like I really enjoyed it, but I want to reread it and then hopefully get a little bit more dissolved in the story. Like don't get me wrong, I still loved it, but I want to like reread it again because I feel like there's parts of it I maybe missed, and I kind of looked over, and I want to reread it again just to like, I don't know, to kind of just go through it again. Like it was actually like a really good book that I picked up, and there's a plant, oh, the little flower in here. I forgot that I put a little flower in here. I would say this one as well, and this one I did get this year during the readathon. Also, I'm so sorry if I'm like heavy breathing. I think I'm just like excited that I was filming this. I also did just get off of work today too, so okay. And then books that you still have to read for this year. I have a lot, so I'm not going to say the author's names because I don't have it written down right here, so I'm just going to post up the pictures, but these are just a few. But there's so much books I want to read. Honestly, I want to read a good majority of the books that are on my physical like TBR shelf, so a lot of these books that are on my shelf I actually want to get to. I just feel like I want to have a majority of my books read on this shelf, but some of the books that I do want to pick up on my shelf are not. They are The Infernal Devices. I really want to get to that. Like I finally want to get to that. I'm waiting for a right time to be able to like dissolve and absorb myself into this story, because I want to like really enjoy it. I don't want anything to hinder my experience. I also want to read, I think it's called Unremarkable Bright Creatures. or Remarkably Bright Creatures is a story I've been wanting to pick up for such a long time. The Hanyum Bookshop, I can't remember the name. I only wrote like a short abbreviation of it in my journal, but I do want to read that. I think the whole concept of it sounds really cool. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, Lovely War, any of R.F. Kuang's books, especially like the Poppy War trilogy. I really want to pick that up. The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo, another one. Any spooky themed books, like I think that's when I want to have like my most peak reading time. Like I want to pick up Ninth House, I want to pick up more of the Carrie Maniscalco books, you know, just like The Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson, just all those like stories. I am like really like I get really excited about reading in like October spooky season, so a majority of those like spooky-ish books is like one I'm super excited to pick up, and those are the ones I'm like really looking forward to. And then yeah, that's all I wrote for here, but I want to just focus more on like quality rather than like quantity. So even though I don't really ever read like a high quantity, but I just want to focus more on like finding books that just make me feel like, oh my gosh, like this is why I love reading, this is like my most favorite hobby ever, and this is why I love just finding great books. And then last question is favorite video so far. So my favorite videos that I have filmed so far this year, again, I have been really behind on not just reading but like filming and posting, so I have not really been the greatest about posting a lot of videos, but I do want to say that like the videos I feel pretty proud of that I actually kept up with and I feel like happy I actually did them was my magical readathon videos this year. I feel like I actually like I had fun editing them, I had fun filming them and like putting in updates and then putting in like those b-roll shots. I just feel like this year was like the one that I'm like, oh, I'm really excited, like I like these videos, like I'm pretty proud of like how they came out. And I feel like this year it also really helped that I was a lot more like involved with the booktube or the magical readathon community, so I like kind of like talked in the chat more. I watched other people's like magical readathon videos, so it really helped like I think pump out that content, because I just felt like so much more like a part of the community this year. And I felt like those videos, I just felt like I don't just see it as like, oh, these are the greatest videos ever, but I just remember like the memories I had behind them. And yeah, I just feel like this year like those videos were like my favorite. Like I'm really proud of like the fact that I kept up with them and I actually did them. But that is it, and that is going to conclude my mid-year wrap-up for 2025. I'm really hoping as I'm filming this that I pick up a lot more books this year. I actually would like to, like I said, I want to focus more on like quality, but it'd be cool if I do pick up a lot more as well, because I don't think there's ever been a year where I've read like a crazy amount of books either, but I'm not really trying to like go past that anyways. I like mainly want to find just books that I love and I like will remember always, like the books, like kind of like the feeling I got when I read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, but I want to like find more books like that, like books that I just adore and love and I will recommend to people. As I'm filming this, I'm really hoping that I find more books that I love, and I actually hope that I keep up more with my content. I keep saying that, but I just end up getting so busy. But I'm honestly just really happy I even filmed this one, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm actually filming on my new camera, so let me know if you guys like the quality or not. I'm still like playing around with the settings, like I want to like change it up a little bit, like I want to see how to like blur out the background. But if you like the quality, let me know. And yeah, I guess I'll probably just end this video here. So if you have not yet, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I really love to have you guys around, and honestly, your likes, comments, and subscriptions just make the biggest support for me. Like it's just the hugest support for me, and I can't thank you enough. I love reading your guys' comments, so please don't be afraid to comment and just talk to me. I love talking to you guys in the comments, and I am just really happy to film this again. And I really hope I see you guys, actually not hope, I will see you guys on the next video. Bye!